Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar about student life at University West. I'm Ebba Thorolsen, and I work at the International Office here at University West. And we will today talk, of course, about student life, what it's like to study here, living in Trollhättan, and what's a big difference when actually coming to Sweden for a first time, maybe. So I will start with a short presentation about the university and about Sweden in general, and then I will let Ike Oluwapo from Nigeria talk about her experience here at Trollhättan, and then I will also let Mika from Germany talk about his experience. And in the end, we will have time for Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. And also with me behind the scenes, we have Maddie Hoffman, who works at International Office as well, who will be able to answer some of your questions during the webinar. And if you have any other types of questions not necessarily related to student life, she will be available in the chat. So just short about Sweden, I bet most of you know the general gist of Sweden by now, since you're here at the webinar. But Sweden is located in Northern Europe. It's a part of Scandinavia. It's a very long country, which makes it quite a specific nature. We have a flatter type of geography down south, and then we have mountains and a lot of woods and stuff like that in the north. Even though it's so long and quite large, I would say, compared to some other European countries, we have a very small population. So about 10 million people live in Sweden, and that's about 21 persons per square kilometers. And if you compare it to the European Union in general, that's about 112. So it's like a fifth, sixth part of the general European public living in Sweden. And 90% of Swedes live in the southern parts of the country. So it's very few people living up north, which makes it really beautiful for nature and stuff like that. Not saying that it's not beautiful down south. It really is where we're located. So as I mentioned, beautiful nature. We also have a lot of rich history in a lot of parts of Sweden. And some of our most important values here in Sweden is equality and diversity. And everyone speaks English. In general, it's a safe, modern, and very organized country. We also really have a great public transportation system, which I feel is great if you're actually coming here for studies. Who wants to buy a car when you move to a new country, right? We're also very innovative, and we have a lot of international businesses, both here in Trollhättan, where University West is located, and in Sweden in general. And we also have a good education system, which might be the reason why you're here. And it's very informal, both in the education system, but in society in general. And we really value independence. So University West is located in Trollhättan. It's quite a small city with approximately 60,000 people living there. It's a quite well-known location to travel to if you're in Sweden. We have, for example, the Göta Canal, the Göta River, running right through the city, which makes the landscape really beautiful. It's located about 35 minutes away from Gothenburg, which is the second largest city here in Sweden. And in Trollhättan, you have everything you need close by. So we usually call it like a 15-minute city, which means you have the university where you live, stores, shops, your friends, everything you need within 15 minutes by bike or by public transport. And it's also the headquarters for a lot of international companies. Even though Trollhättan is quite a small city, we have a lot of international companies actually housing here in Trollhättan. As I mentioned, it's close to Gothenburg, which is the second largest city in Sweden. It's also 4 hours by train to Copenhagen, which is the capital of Denmark, 3 hours to Oslo, which is the capital of Norway, and then about 4.5 hours you have Stockholm, which is the capital of Sweden. So a bit about the university. It's located in the city center of Trollhättan, so like a stone's throw away. You have the city square. It was founded in 1990, so it's quite young, and it's government funded, like 90% of the rest of the universities in Sweden. So just a view of the campus. It's quite large, and we also have student housing located on campus, and in a separate building about 20 minutes walk away, we have the Production Technology Center, where we have a laboratory. If you study any of those technical programs, you will probably spend quite a lot of time at the PTC, as we call it. As I mentioned, it's downtown. It's very close to both city center and to the central station, which makes it very flexible if you don't want to necessarily live in Trollhättan or if you want to work somewhere else. We also have a service center centrally located, and now recently we have also built a robotics lab here on campus. We have a great library and a lot of study rooms if you want to study on your own or with your classmates. And about 30 study landscapes and a lot of computer rooms as well if you want to borrow computers while studying here at campus. So shortly about the PTC, it's one of the newest and largest laboratories in Sweden, where we practice anything from like welding, thermal spray, additive manufacturing, machining, and robotics. And here it's also the home for the research team Production Technology West. It's both used by the university, but it's also used by businesses in Trollhättan and researchers, as I mentioned. Quite small, 625 employees approximately, about 5,500 students at campus, where around 300 of those are international students. We have a lot of teachers compared to the amount of students we have, and our profile is work-integrated learning. This is our overreaching profile, so it's both how we value learning, but it's also a big part of our research. So the general gist of it is that there's cooperation between the university and surrounding society to make it all integrated. So now I will let Ike Oluwapo talk about her student experience. Welcome.
Hi everyone, my name is Ike Oluwapo Ogurinde, but most people call me Jolly. And I'm going to be talking about my student life so you can see through my lens. So my program is International Program in Politics and Economics, and I'm from Ekiti State in Nigeria, which is known as the land of honor and integrity. But I lived and I was born in Ibadan. So, and my role is a student ambassador. I'm going to tell you how I proceeded to becoming a student ambassador later. So I arrived in Sweden 2023 by October. So I moved to Sweden. I was so excited, you know, to start this new chapter of life. And I studied sociology in Nigeria for like 3 years before coming to Sweden. So about my country, Nigeria, which almost everybody knows that is the giant of Africa. And Nigeria is located in West Africa and bordered by Niger, Chad, Cameroon, and Benin. And Nigeria is culturally diverse. Like, it's home to almost 250 ethnic groups, including Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. That's the main ethnic groups in Nigeria, and we have about 500 languages. So if you may ask me what's the language we speak in Nigeria, I think our first language is English or Pidgin. So, and Nigeria is famous for Nollywood, and because that's like the world's second largest film industry, and Afrobeat stars like Fela Kuti, Wizkid, and Davido and Burna Boy. And also we have delicious cuisines, dishes like jollof rice. I think that's the most popular dishes we have in Nigeria: jollof rice, amala, and pounded yam, which in Sweden, most of my Swedish friends, most of my international friends call fufu. That's what they call pounded yam and amala. And Nigeria has so many iconic sites. If you want to visit Nigeria, I would love you to visit the Zuma Rock. There's so many beautiful places. And of course, the Yankari Game Reserve. So like I said, I grew up in Ibadan, and Ibadan is rich in its history. I would say is the largest city in Nigeria because, you know, Ibadan is so big and it's super beautiful. So if you're going to Nigeria, visit Lagos. That's what you people say, Lagos, but the correct pronunciation is Lagos. So yeah, if you want to visit Nigeria, I would love you to go to Lagos and Ibadan. Now, I'm going to proceed to talking about why did I choose Sweden. That's something very dear to my heart, but I'm going to tell you why I chose Sweden. The first reason why I chose Sweden was my dad. He actually said, you guys are going to Sweden. And I was like, what? Sweden? Because initially I chose the UK and I even got admission in the University of Kent in UK, but he just told us, he said, no, I don't want you to go to the UK. I said, why? He said, I want you and your sister to be close to each other because I have a sister who is also studying the same program as mine. So she had admission in Kent. I had admission in Kent and she had admission in Bangor University in the UK. And he was like, I don't want you guys to be in two different places. If you know African parents, they're always like two girls in Europe. No, I cannot condone such. I would love both of you to be together. So fortunately for us, I applied to University West and I got admission. She applied to University of Gothenburg and some other universities, but she got admission to University West. And he was super happy. And he was like, oh, you guys would pick Sweden. And I was like, okay, no problem. But in my head, I'm like, Sweden is a tourist place for me if I want to enjoy looking at the snow, because we lack snow in Nigeria. We don't have snow. So, you know, just for you to enjoy the winter period. But in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to pick Sweden. So I did some research. And what I found in my research is actually true. Number one, Sweden has a very high quality education. Back in Nigeria, I was studying sociology, which is supposed to be a 4-year course. And eventually I didn't finish because there's something we call strike, an ASU strike, where they do not pay lecturers to, they don't pay lecturers and lecturers come up together and, you know, not come to classes, not teach us, and it becomes like a strike. So we had the strike going on for like 8 months, and he was so tired and said, you guys are moving to Sweden. So Sweden has a very high quality education. If a program is 4 years, you do that program in 4 years. Not like you have a program for 4 years and do it for 6 years like in Nigeria. So Sweden has a very high quality education, and I am not blaspheming Nigeria's education. I am just being direct. So Sweden also has global connectivity and networking, which I have advantage of, and I've met a lot of people living in Sweden. I've made so many great connections. So Sweden is also safe. I could give an instance where my sister dropped her phone in the tram by mistake, and we were all panicking. We're like, oh, where's our phone? We called the phone. Then someone picked up and said, he's giving the phone to the driver. That is how much safe it is. And we eventually got our phone. And you can even leave things outside and you will still find them there, unlike Nigeria. So I'm not going to like compare any longer, but Sweden has high sustainability and innovation, because everybody knows that Sweden is like the global leader in sustainability and innovations. They keep on changing. They are following the trend. That's how I'll put it. They are following the trend. And also Sweden is committed to green energy, and they are committed to reducing carbon footprints. I could give an instance where their recycling system is very good. You know, when you buy this Coca-Cola bottle, the Coca-Cola pans, every of the Coca-Cola cans or Fanta or whatever soft drinks you buy has like they have like a pan system, yeah, but not. I think it's like a panta system. I'm not like very fluent in Swedish, but it's like a pan system where when you buy something, you pay for the can bottle, then you have the opportunity to recycle it back, instead of you like disturbing the neighborhood or with your cans, your Coca-Cola cans, where other places in Africa, you just put the cans anywhere, you know. So they have a very, very good recycling system. And of course, Sweden has a very good quality of life. If you come to Sweden, you would understand the balance between your work and school. They offer a work-life balance where you get to know how to work and how to study. You can manage both together. And Sweden is cultural diversity. There's a lot of people from different backgrounds, different cultures. You meet a lot of people. I'm telling you this because I have I have met a lot of people from different countries. And also, like I said, it was my parents' desire to come to Sweden, my dad especially. So yeah, shout out to him, because he is like, I do not regret coming to Sweden, because everything I saw online is what I got. Like, you know, when you say what you ordered versus what you got, I actually ordered something and I got what I ordered. So, and in Sweden, I wanted to like embrace the Europe lifestyle. I wanted to see how it is done here, you know. I just wanted to like see the difference between the culture here and culture in Africa. And of course, the Swedish educational philosophy, the way they train, the way they teach is totally different. But you would like it and enjoy it, because they have a way of allowing you to, they teach you in a way that you would use their program in the future. Like we do presentations, we do seminars, we do different things just for you to blend in the work lifestyle in the future. So they prepare you for the future. They prepare you for what is to come. Not like they're just teaching you to pass. They are teaching you to know. They are teaching you to understand. It's just like you want to learn something and you take it along with you to your future. You take it along with you to your work in the future. So I'm going to be talking about why University West. Why did I pick University West? I could have taken, gone to Göteborg University, because I was actually on the wait list for Göteborg University, and I could have chosen just Göteborg University. But I figured out that University West has like a very strong focus on practical, hands-on learning, and it aligns perfectly with my career goals, because I wanted to study politics. And when I saw that they had politics and economics, I was like, wow, that's like a double bonus for me, because studying politics and economics together. So I chose it because they were like, there's like a pedagogical learning style, you know, practical, not just like you are reading. You get to practice, like I said. You get to prepare for the future, like I said. And of course, university has a very beautiful environment. One thing I tell people is, you want to learn, you should learn in a good environment. The environment should align with whatever you are doing. Like when you have a good environment, you feel at peace. And when I read online, I was like, oh my God, is this University West? I started following them on Instagram, looking at it. I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. The environment looks good. I would love to study here. Because like I said, global environment, a nice environment is very crucial for your growth, for your personal and academic growth. And it's allowed me to learn, you know, diversely, and also meet international students, because my program is such a program where you meet different people from the world, from Germany, from Nepal, from Czech Republic, from different parts of the world, because we also accept exchange students from other countries. So they come during the course, during the period of the course, you know, to study a course in the program. So I've met a lot of people which they've now become like very close to me and very dear to my heart. I've met people from Eritrea, you know, a lot of people. So the EPEC program is very unique because it has the ability to blend the theory with the real world experience. We do a lot of presentations, a lot of seminars, you know, and the focus on collaboration and innovation, that's what stood out for me, because the way they move with the trend. And also the welcoming and supportive student services made it easier for me to adapt, because I arrived by October, which was like a little bit late because I had issues with my residence permit, but I was able to come in with a D visa. And when I came, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to miss out. But University West did not make me miss out, because we were actually doing like Zoom. So I was attending the classes regularly. And when I eventually got here, the student services were they were so nice, you know, when you come and you feel welcomed. So there were a lot of activities I joined, and it just made me connect easier with other students, because I've been speaking to the students at home before coming to University West. So seeing them was just like, oh, I've met you before, and you know, yeah, so that's the main reason why I chose University West. So what is life as a student in Sweden for me? Generally, studying in Sweden has been an exciting journey for me. When people ask me, how are you doing in Sweden? How is Sweden treating you? I say, how am I treating myself in Sweden? That's the goal. Sweden environment, Sweden itself should be a plus of how I'm treating myself. So I just say, like, anywhere you are, treat yourself good. So when I got here, I was just like, I was thinking that the language would be a barrier, like, how am I going to learn Swedish so quickly? But when I got here, it was totally different. When I say, hi, can you speak English? They're like, yeah, I can speak English. You know, it's totally different. I've gone to other countries I'm not going to mention, and when I say, hi, can you speak English? They tell me, no, I can't speak English. I'm like, what? What are you saying? You just said English. But yeah, it's totally different. I've been here. When I got here, it was different. Like the way they transit when they understand that you don't understand Svenska, they just talk to you in English directly. And, you know, they smile when you speak little Swedish and like, okay, oh, you're learning. And they have just been helpful in my academic growth, because when you are sad because of a language barrier, you tend not to do well in your academics, because around you, you're not happy, but it's totally different here. So I tell you this for a fact: when you come to Sweden, language is not a barrier when you know how to approach and talk to people very well. And I would say that I've had the chance to join so many student activities. I'm a type of person that loves to, you know, join student activities. I love to be present. That's the word. I love to be present. So I have joined so many groups, so many activities, to the extent that now I have a role under a community in my school, and I'm the study social and the social media manager, and also the marketing lead. So you get to experience the work life, not like you finish school and in the future you do not understand you don't understand the patterns of working life. So joining the student activities was something I did. Then also I established so many potential connections. You can see these are my friends. We've gone skiing together. We've gone to take fika. I'm going to talk about what fika is. And, you know, like I say, you experience the true adulthood life. There's a song like that in Nigeria saying adulthood, blah, blah, blah. You know, you just experience the adulthood life because you get prepared because of what is around you. So, yeah, like I said, I've gone with my friends to take fika. Fika is a special, it's something special in Sweden where you get to connect with people, eat together, take special bonds together. Like, this is the season of Christmas. There's something we have like a Christmas bond. So then you just like get to eat and drink together and also play games. And University West also prepared like there's something we call See You at 4 every Tuesdays, where you get to play games and take free snacks with your friends, you know, just a little time away from school. So I've made so many connections. Like I said, I've gone out with my friends to take fika, done a lot of things. Fika is just like you taking coffee and the bonds, like I said. So living in Sweden is just so surreal for me, because I did not expect it was going to be this good, because I was thinking language is going to be a barrier. Like you can see the pictures, I've enjoyed so much. I've had so much fun. I've gone skiing. I've gone to Liseberg. Liseberg is where Eva was talking about the Göteborg. Liseberg is in Göteborg, so it's very close to Trollhättan and has so many fun activities. You could go there to, you know, have fun. And there's a place here in Trollhättan, there's a bowling section where I've been to. So yeah, that's like typically my life as a student here in Sweden. It's so much fun, and I've had a lot of opportunities to do so many activities. So I would say the tips I would give incoming students is, don't be afraid to ask questions at all. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Approach people. I've learned something that the Swedish culture is that they are very reserved. They are not proud. When they don't talk to you, doesn't mean they don't like you, or doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you. You have to approach people. You just have to integrate. When you come to a new place, you have to learn, oh, what's the difference between this place and my country? So if you want to integrate better, talk better, when you come to Sweden, you have to approach people and you have to embrace the culture. Don't bring your culture here. You just have to, you can bring your culture, but in a way that you have to embrace the first culture first. And you have to be open to new experiences. Try new food, try new things, and also don't be afraid to ask questions, because asking questions has been helpful for me a lot. I have somebody I work with in the international office. Her name is Maddie. She says, oh, don't be afraid to ask questions so you don't make an irreversible mistakes. That's what she says. That's actually true. So make sure you ask questions. Don't be afraid. Be inquisitive. And also, when you come here, don't be shy. Don't be idle. You have to take advantages of student services or the events they make just to make new connections. You know, when they say there's an event here, go there. When they say there's a webinar, there's something, just go. You never can tell where you would find and create happiness and create connections that would last for you forever. And don't forget to try the fika culture, because it's an experience in itself. When you come here, you understand what I mean by fika a lot, very well. So, and I would also advise that you should learn some Swedish languages before coming, to be honest, because I feel like if I learned some Swedish languages, it would have been super easy for me. It was easy for me, actually, but it's just good, you know, when you come and you're just saying like, good morning, they're like, wow, you understand Swedish. I'm like, no. So coming here is just like, just learn just some little Swedish, like, oh, good morning. You know, you should just learn some Swedish. Like, right now, anytime I don't understand something, I'm like, hey, du kan du prata engelska? Can you speak English? You know, when they hear that, they feel the ability in you trying to learn and accept their culture. So they feel a type of comfortability in you. They find comfort in you. So just try to learn Swedish. It's very sweet and it's an advantage. To all my Nigerian people and everybody watching me online now, I would say that it's an advantage. When in the future, when there's some jobs you would love to do and they would ask you, what languages can you speak? And you just say, oh, English. They would pick you over somebody who can speak English and Swedish, or English and any other language, than you who can speak only English. So it's good you learn Swedish. Don't come here and say, no, I don't like Svenska. Svenska is hard. It's not hard. Because if you just imagine yourself being in a place and you grow, let's say you were born in Sweden, you would learn the Swedish. You will learn the Swedish rather. So you should learn Swedish. And of course, you have to live life loving, love everybody. When you come here, approach people. They are very nice. When a Swede like you, they like you forever. That's just the truth. I've had Swedish friends and no, the love is just totally different. So like I said, just have to live life loving. So that would be all from me. And I would say when you come here, just make sure that you find peace wherever you are and create the happiness yourself. So if you want to learn more about Sweden, feel free to ask more questions. I might have like missed something else. And I'm going to like call my colleague, Mika, to come here to, you know, talk more about his own experience. Thank you so much for listening and letting me share my journey with you.
Thank you very much, Jolie. Hello, welcome to everyone. Yeah, my name is Mika. I'm, like Jolie, in the second year of IPE, so the International Program for Politics and Economics. I'm originally from Frankfurt, Germany. I was always interested in politics and economics. I had this in high school already. I had an English major course as well. And yeah, I was looking around in Sweden where to go, what to study, and I found out about University West and that they have exactly this program, these courses that I wanted to combine together with major part in politics and then a small part in economics and finance. So I applied. After I finished high school, firstly, I played basketball full-time for 1 year, then stopped, attended university in Frankfurt for 2 semesters while I was studying history with a double minor in politics and sociology. Yeah, then I worked 1 year as a basketball coach and afterwards came to Sweden and started my bachelor again. Yeah, why why did I come to Sweden? That's a really good question. There was multiple factors that convinced me to choose Sweden over other countries. I was also accepted at universities in Norway and Denmark. First of all, Sweden has a great education system. The moment I arrived here, I noticed this. I really love this familiar atmosphere with professors and students. As Ebba said before, a large number of professors or teachers. There's always a direct interaction, direct contact with them. You can ask questions, you talk to them, and that has been a great experience. Secondly, there's immense diversity and a mixture of culture. So it doesn't matter where you're from, you're always going to find people who will appreciate your culture, who will, you can exchange things together. I always see this with friends of mine. They come together, they cook dishes from around the world, from their home countries or maybe their cities even. And it's been a great experience doing that. One of the best experiences I had was when I was with a group of Italians last semester. They cooked what was carbonara. I think it was really good. Yeah, and these things you never forget. Then we have the quality of life, and the HDI, so the Human Development Index, is extremely high. You're going to feel that when you come here. And then, as Ebba mentioned in the beginning, we have such a diverse this is such a diverse country. We have big cities, we have small villages, we have nature. There's something for everyone. You can go out and camp if you like to. There's a lot of lakes around. We have, I believe it's the biggest lake in Sweden. It's just right above us. You have smaller lakes, you have shelters where you can camp, and then you have Gothenburg just around. I know people who work on farms who do like workshops and that kind of stuff. So there's something for everyone. Then Swedish is actually quite an easy language to learn, especially for native speakers of a Germanic language, so maybe German, Dutch, maybe even English. There's a lot of similar words or even the same words, so that's definitely a thing. But Jolly said, learn a little bit of Swedish before you come here. It will help you out. I did the same thing, and I learned something new. Even though I'm not actively learning Swedish right now, I'm still learning through other people, through reading, through just the public in general, and that's a really, really good thing. And also, despite the common misconception, Swedish people are very welcoming. As Jolie said, they're reserved, but if you open up to them, if you talk to them, there's going to be great experiences. You're going to meet a lot of people. They're very welcoming, but you have to make the first step. They're not going to come to you and talk to you just like that. Especially, for example, when you go out in the evenings or in university. So, but Swedish people, one of the best group of people I ever met in my life. Yeah, then why University West? It's a very internationally minded university. There's professors from all over the world, guest lecturers from all over the world, and also from different type of areas. For example, I think it was last semester, we had a general from the South African Navy who came and gave us a guest lecture about, we had the security studies course. And it was very interesting. We could talk to him, we could ask him a couple questions. So you will notice this, no matter what you're studying, there's always going to be international cooperation, which is very important. For example, if you want to find a job in the future in another country or even another continent. Then the work integrated learning gives a strong advantage in personal growth for students. You have this experience even before looking for a job. There's a high employment rate for the students of University West after studies. I've seen it recently. I believe it's about 85% have a job in less than 1 year of graduating. And this is a very familiar and friendly atmosphere. Like I said, you can always come to teachers. Always the office is open for you when they're in the university. You can come in, you can ask questions, talk about assignments, your exam. And also there's research projects at this university, which are in collaboration with students, teachers, and external figures. And so this is also a very good thing. Then student life, which is also very interesting for most of you. There's many activities for students here, organized from the university, but then also on the other hand that you can do yourself. First of all, Jolie already talked about See You at 4 Fika. This is a thing which is every Tuesday in the restaurant in the university. where you get a drink, coffee or a soda, and something to eat for free. You can go there, you can connect with students. They have board games, card games, everything, and it's always very full, and it's a great experience. And then Thursdays, for example, there's a student pub open on the university. And then most students go to a karaoke bar after, which is open until 2 in the night. Then also Gothenburg is very close by. You can go there. You have everything there. You have bars, you have shopping streets, restaurants. So it's very good. It was shown before in the map. It's about 30 minutes to 35 minutes to Gothenburg. So that's always an option. Then also student accommodations, they hold great memories. There's, I don't know, 4 or 5 student accommodations, I believe, and they all have their own kind of thing. You will notice what I mean when I come. There's some accommodations where people have these get-togethers, have parties with each other, and it's amazing. You travel around, you meet new people, even maybe they're not invited, or you didn't know they were invited, they just come and join you, and it's amazing. Other activities could be bowling bar, for example. There's a lot of sports here in Trollhättan. We have a swimming club, we have Muay Thai, boxing, anything you want to do, you're going to find here or close by. One of the local sport teams that we have that play in leagues are here listed. It's FC Trollhättan. It's playing in the Division 1. It's football. Then we have the Trollhättan's basketball club, which is playing in Division 3, and Trollhättan's ice hockey club, which is also playing in Division 3. Then one last thing, some tips. Be open to everything, to new things, new experiences. Try out stuff, meet people, go on trips, take all this experience you can get. I really recommend that. I've had this talk with someone a couple of days ago, and they were a little bit anxious of coming here. And then when they arrived and they did these things, it was one of the best decisions I made, to just be open and try this stuff out. There's some trips which are organized from the university or in cooperation with another agency. For example, the Lapland trip. It was just recently, actually, for the students who are here. You go for 5 days to the Swedish Lapland. There's activities like snowshoe hike. You can most likely see the Northern Lights. There is one every semester, so definitely look at that, but there will be an announcement for it as well. And then also day trips or weekend trips like to Stockholm, Oslo, Copenhagen are amazing, and I can definitely recommend that. Like I mentioned before, if you like camping, there's a lot of great places, a lot of great nature around to do that. And just build connections for the future. There's so many people. Over the 3 semesters I've been here, now I know people everywhere in the world. In Canada, Asia, Africa, everywhere. And it's great, really. It's so international here, and you will feel that for sure. And most importantly, just enjoy your time. Do what you like to do. Find these things that you want to do. There's, as I said, something for everyone. Yeah, and that's it for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. We're gonna have a couple of minutes for Q&A. So here we go. First of all, we can go a bit this way, I think, for us all to be in the screen. So first of all, thank you so much. And something I will take with me from your presentations is that we Swedes needs to be a bit more forward. But I really appreciate your way to describe your student life, and I think it paints a really great picture. Something I want to ask you guys about is like the classroom environment. I know that could be quite different depending on where you're from in the world, but how would you describe how it is in the classroom? Usually can start.
I'm gonna start by rating it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's so sad that the classroom environment in Sweden is better than my classroom environment in Nigeria. I'm gonna rate it over 10, 10 over 10. But my country, it's like, let's say 5 over 10.
Okay.
depending on the university, because if you go to a private university, you tend to have a good environment, let's say maybe 7 or 6 over 10, but the state and federal universities are like 2 or 3 over 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's beautiful, it's neat, you know, it's, yeah, always clean, but Africa, no, it's not always clean. You tend to have to clean yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a big difference then.
Yeah.
And Mika, how would you describe like the social atmosphere in the classroom? Is it a big difference from Germany?
It depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Let me explain this. So, of course, there's bigger lectures. We have like, I don't know, 2, 3 big lecture halls in which there might be 100 or over 100 people. Then it's a bit difficult, but we have smaller seminars. We have Q&A sessions with the teachers before exams, for example. Compared to Germany, at Goethe University, where I study, is one of the biggest universities. I think it's about 55,000 students there, and you're going to have these lectures with hundreds of people, and it's kind of rare that you have this like Q&A sessions directly with the teachers unless you schedule a meeting with them. And I think it's very good. It's a good mix, and even if there's bigger lectures, you can still ask questions and get in touch with them.
Yeah, and we also, a lot of students describe this, of course, informality, you both mentioned, that is a big difference, no titles and stuff like that is a big difference, but also that there's a lot of discussions going on during classrooms, like they ask open questions, there's no rights or wrongs. I think that's also something. Do you recognize that description?
Yes, absolutely. When I was coming to Sweden, I was like, no titles, because in Africa, in Nigeria, you do not dare to call your lecturers by their name.
No.
You do not dare. You're going to... So you have to go Mr. Emsa, you know, but yeah, you feel the ease, you know, to like... I think it's just a bit different because they take respect. It's not like we do not respect our lecturers here, but you feel comfortable to ask questions. You know, it's totally different than in Africa. Yeah. So I figured it out, and I was like, I actually found it very hard to blend in by calling them by their names. You know, it was so hard because I'm already used to saying Mr., Ma, or Sa, but you know, calling them by their name is totally different. But there's much advantage to it than the disadvantage. That's what I would say. Yeah.
I saw we got a question about recording. So yes, the webinar is recorded and we will post it, I think probably in the end of the week or next week on our YouTube channel, but I will also send it in a newsletter so you guys can see it afterwards if you forgot any details. And if you guys feel like any of your questions are still unanswered in the end of the webinar, you can send us your questions on the email behind us or scan the QR code to come to a page where you can fill in your question. But back to the classroom, we have a lot of group projects, I would say, in general. Are you used to working with other students on assignments like this?
Yeah, in Africa, we work. I work with some of my classmates. We have presentations, but it's just like very rare. Unlike in Sweden, where you have presentations and seminars in every course. You know, it's totally different because in Nigeria, you have a different system whereby you have all the courses at go, but here the courses are one after the other, and it's like you been in groups or you've been in presentations or everything, and it's just so good because there are so many rooms, like so many group rooms where you could book a group room to read and study together with people, and I think it's very good for inclusivity. Like you can talk to your friends from different people, you get to meet people. So, you know, it's totally different, to be honest, because it's so rare in Africa. But it's like every time after a course you do a seminar, there's always seminars for every course. We even have up to like 3 seminars for a course. You could the third one is always like the individual presentation. The first one is where you and your group in different groups, so you and your friends or you and your classmates just do the presentation together. So it's
it's a good way to get to know other people as well when you actually come as an international student.
Yes.
Mika, how would you describe the campus environment here?
Campus environment. I personally enjoy it. Actually, in the beginning, before I came here, I was looking at pictures, and I thought, okay, it doesn't seem that big. It doesn't seem like it would be a good atmosphere at the campus. I don't know why I had this issue, but the moment I arrived here, really the first hour when I picked up my keys in the university, I was really surprised. It's for my personal opinion, it's way better even than it was on the pictures. So if you like the pictures, then you're gonna like it even more. Yeah. But there, like I said, there's like all these things which are being organized from the university, like events, you know, see you at Forfika, where you meet people, and there's big library, there's a lot of tables, a lot of rooms where you just get to know people. And I think I had an amazing experience with just talking to people, even from other programs.
Yeah. And you're from Frankfurt originally. Yeah. I think that's quite the bigger city than Trollhättan. How is it like moving to a smaller city?
I needed some time to get used to it. One of the things that helped me was that Gothenburg is close by. So whenever I feel like, oh, okay, I need this big city life, I take the train, 30 minutes, I'm there, and I have this feeling again. But Trollhättan still has something which doesn't require me to always go to Gothenburg. I haven't been to Gothenburg in a while now, and I don't need this big city feeling right now because there's everything I need here.
Yeah. How has it been for you, Jolly, moving to Trollhättan?
For me, like I said earlier, like it was what I ordered versus what I got. Because I'm a lover of aesthetic. Like I love when a place is looking beautiful. And the restaurant, the cafe has like the beautiful leaves, you know, you feel happy. So personally for me, I like it. I love it. And it's easier to commute to Gothenburg, to Göteborg. Yeah. So it's very easier for me to go to Göteborg if I want to like experience the big city. But anytime I'm coming to Trollhättan, it feels like home to me. I'm coming home because it's way small, but it's beautiful and organized. So it wasn't like, because, you know, Africa is so big. Yeah. So it's totally different when I came here. But, you know, it's different because it's neat and it's organized. So, yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, and that might be not as big of a culture shock for you. Yeah. From Germany, might be a bit more organized like Sweden, I suppose. But from Africa or Nigerians specifically, it might be also a shock with the weather. Now it's December. It's been dark for a while. It's been cold for a while. But how are you coping with that? I know that's something a lot of people are worried about.
To be honest, I'm coping well because when I came here, I came during the winter. Yeah. So, you know, I think it was good that I came during the winter because I was able to adapt. I was able to transit very fast because you know, it's always hot, but I had the opportunity because my house we usually use a lot of AC. So, but it's not compared to this place, but I'm coping well, to be honest. But I've been, you know, I think it's just wear the right clothes for the right weather. Yeah. If you wear any clothes that is not right for the weather, you feel cold. You cannot expect me to wear bras during winter. You know, I can't just wear open clothes during winter. So just wear the right clothes for the right weather and you will be fine, totally. People are living here, people are doing it, so you will survive. That's what I tell myself, though, but it could apply to you. And during the winter, it's always dark. Oh, my God. I didn't really find that very cool because I'm used to, you know, bright. But the only thing I like during winter is the snow. For some reason, people are like, why would you love the snow? I love the snow. I don't have the opportunity to see the snow, so I love it. And I'm liking it because it's always bright. Like, there's one brightness it gives. Yeah. So just the darkness, because the darkness is always like, oh, is it time to sleep? And you're looking at the time, 3 p.m. No. But, you know, you get used to it. That's what I would say.
And it's a bit cozy as well. Yeah.
It's cozy.
So do you have any, Mika, you might be a bit more used to the cold as well and the darkness. Do you have any, what do you usually do during your days when it's winter?
Yeah, so I think one of the right things to say is you get used to it. Over my first winter, it took me some time. You know, I think we had minus 22 degrees, and in like deep winter in December, the sun is setting at like 15:30, about that time, but you get used to it. During that time, sometimes it's difficult because, for example, when I go to my practice in the evening and it's really cold, it's really dark, and you don't have any motivation, it's sometimes difficult. You go to university maybe, it's dark, and you leave university when it's dark as well. But like you said, it has something cozy. When you're done with your day, maybe it's in the afternoon, you can go home, it's cold outside, you make a hot chocolate and just enjoy the rest of the day. So there's pros and cons depending on what you like. Actually, for me, I think it's quite beautiful. I really like the snow. That's also one of the reasons why I came here. I like cold weather, so it wasn't that difficult for me to make my peace with it. But yeah, depends on how you feel about it.
Yeah, it gets really beautiful when the snow arrives. And you know, a nice cold breath of air is really nice when it's that crisp air. I think that's something I miss when it's summer, actually. So it depends on how you see it. But you mentioned food a bit, about food culture. Do you guys like Swedish food? Do you think, what is Swedish food to you guys?
You know, coming here, I was like, okay, I will just be eating Nigerian food. But no, that's not it. I love potatoes. Potatoes now in Sweden.
Exactly.
I love potatoes. And when I got here, I just saw the way they use potatoes to make different food. Like, it's still potato, but it's different food. When you know, it's just so nice. So if you love potatoes, welcome to the world of potatoes, because you're going to eat potatoes in different forms. And of course, there's African markets. So if you need to eat eba, fufu, jollof rice, blah blah blah, you can go to the African markets to get it. It's very close by. There's one in Gothenburg. That's like the big store. But if you want something quick, go to Abbey Market and Trollhättan. So it's very easy for you to find whatever you want to find to cook. I think I even hosted like a party where I cooked Nigerian food. Did you eat Nigerian food the other day?
Yeah.
So like I called some of my Nigerian friends to like eat the food. Yeah. You know, just so yeah. And they usually like host something in the university where you can cook different foods from different culture. So yeah, you wouldn't you wouldn't miss the Nigerian food. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, or any of your food in Africa or anywhere you are in any diaspora of where you are. Yeah, that's it.
I'm especially was a little bit surprised, but also convinced me about the baked goods.
Yeah,
baked goods like kanelbulle, you know, cinnamon bun is like, and a lot of coffee places they also make them themselves. If it's not like a big chain, if it's maybe a local coffee place, they're gonna prepare it themselves and bake it. And so, especially those like kind of sweets, I really enjoy.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sour candy, that's my my favorite now.
I love Swedish candy.
I love sour candy.
Of course I do.
It's so good. And if you like me, it's the shobula. So like the shobula is so nice.
Yeah, that's great tips. And as you mentioned, it won't be that hard to actually get a hold of your home countries, like specific spices and stuff like that if you miss home. I think that's a big part of many cultures. So have you guys experienced any like big culture shocks, Mika?
Big culture shocks. The only thing that I can really think of is, so we talked about fika a couple of times, you know, it's this Swedish afternoon coffee time, and how serious they are about it. Whenever I go to maybe a coffee place on the river, I like the Strandgatan Cafe, it doesn't really matter if it's 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always full of people. Yeah. It's like it's like a holy thing here, and that was like probably the biggest thing that I was so surprised about. How important it is to people to even just go out, even if it's just a coffee. They go out, they socialize, go with friends. Yeah.
And I can say that that's also something when you actually work in Sweden. We always fika on work hours as well, because it's a big part of you know, actually getting to know your colleagues and having a good time at work. Yeah. So what's your biggest culture shock, Jolly?
I never really had like a big culture shock because I did my research. Yeah, I did a lot of research. Yeah. And about the title stuff, you know, when I got to Sweden, and I was like, I can't call them by I have to call them by their name. I was okay, let me try. Because in Nigeria, you dare not, like I say, you dare not call elderly people by their name. You have to say ma, and you have to kneel. Yeah. You have to kneel like kneel, you know. Yeah. So it's totally different for me. But I already did my research, and when I got here, I was like, just blend in. Don't let them know that you're a newbie. Come, don't let them know that that's what I was telling myself. Adapt. So yeah, not really like a big difference. Okay, yeah. There, in Africa, in Nigeria specifically, the bus system is totally different. You can easily say, I'm stopping here.
Oh, you just go to the driver and say, I want to get off?
You can tell the driver, I'm getting off at Noab. I want to get off now. And they will drop you off. But here, it's stop by stop, and you have to press the stunner. Yeah. The stunner, because the stunner, if you don't press it, they take you to another place. Yeah. They feel like nobody's getting off from this point. So yeah, that's another thing I like.
That's a good tip, actually.
Yeah. So when you come, you have to make sure you press where you are going to, because the driver is not going to stop because he doesn't know where you want to stop.
Very hands-on tip.
And there's not like traffic.
No.
Yeah, there's no traffic unlike Nigeria.
Yeah, and no honking in traffic.
Yes. Yeah, that's actually true. There's no honking. I figured it out. Like, there's no honking at all, because you just signal. They just look at the lights, and everybody here understands that you are going to the right. Yeah. They know you are going. No honking at all. Like, it's so quiet, so peaceful. Like, I don't know. That's just it.
Yeah, I talked to someone from India. They said the biggest culture shock was the silence when they first arrived. Probably because of traffic a bit. But I also want to ask you about like safety. We mentioned it in the presentation that it's generally safe. But how do you guys like feel? I know that's a big, like, feeling secure when you move to another country is a big part. Like, how do you guys feel about safety, both in Trollhättan, maybe Sweden in general? Mika?
So, I don't really know how to explain it. I mean, I'm from Frankfurt. It's a notoriously criminal city, and that's what they say. It's actually true. I don't know. I think it is like in Trollhättan or in Gothenburg. I think it is like it's in every city. There's like parts where you shouldn't go alone, or you shouldn't wear like big jewelry, that kind of stuff. But in general, especially Sweden, like the Nordic countries, I've never seen like things I've seen in other places, like maybe public fights or robberies or stuff like that, which I have seen in other places in Germany, for example. So it's very different. And also what I noticed is that the police and security, they're very strict, and they're very strict on pushing the rules. So if something even slightly is off, they will tell you, and they're gonna completely step in.
Yeah, like it's like I said, it's very safe. It's so unfortunate that in Africa you have to be careful what you wear. There's some places that are safe, and there are some places that are not safe. Even when I was in the university in Nigeria, there's so many burglaries, there's so many thefts in the student apartments. It happens a lot. We are used to it. So when I got here, it was a bit different. I didn't expect anything less. Yeah, I didn't expect anything less. I was like, okay, that's good. Because in Africa, you just have to be careful. You cannot open your doors, your windows. You have to make sure it's well closed. Yeah. You cannot put your phone beside the window. When you're charging your phone, if you put your phone beside the window, it's gone. Because they have a way in taking it. So it's totally safe here. That's what I would say. Because I have not.
So here you charge your phone in the window.
Yeah, I charge anywhere. I can charge my phone outside my apartment. If my sister, like, if I'm not with the key, I've done it before, so I know what I'm saying. So I haven't experienced any unsafe moments. That's what I would say.
That's good. That's really nice to hear.
Also, what I've noticed is that people in the library or somewhere in the university, when they go and get something to drink, they just leave their laptops. They leave everything on the table. Don't get me wrong. Of course, it could happen that something's being stolen, but I've seen this a lot of times, and I've never seen anything happen.
Yeah, it really says something about, like, the general feeling.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should leave your laptops on the table.
A tip from John. Okay, so we're going to end on a more happy note. It's getting closer to Christmas time and the holiday season. So what are you guys' plan? Are you doing something extra festive, Jolly?
For me, I actually planned to go to Morocco I planned to go to Morocco, but I changed my plans. So I'm just going to be in Sweden, maybe probably go to Liseberg, because I went to Liseberg last time, but I had like a freeze bite because I didn't put on my gloves. And and there's so many roller coasters and they're so tempting. So there's not how you go to Liseberg and you wouldn't like want to ride on one of the roller coasters, because the roller coasters are so beautiful. There are different roller coasters where you can see the view of the whole of Gothenburg. So I'm just going to Liseberg, then, you know, cook some food, invite some friends, let's eat. I think that should be all. Then I already visited the Christmas market, so I would have said I want to visit the Christmas markets, but no, I visited the Christmas markets, got some things, and also ate churros. There's something called churros. Yeah, so and nice. I also took the apple sweets. I think there's one
the candied apple.
The candy. Oh, that was my first time taking something like that, and it was really cool. So that's my plan for Christmas.
That's good. What about you, Mika? I know you're going to the market today.
Yeah, I'm going to the Christmas market in Gothenburg today, actually, to get some presents. I haven't done that yet, but I'm actually going to go home over Christmas. But even though I'm not going to be here, I also just this time leading up to Christmas here, it's so beautiful. I think in Gothenburg alone, they have 4 Christmas markets, something like that. Yeah. And you can see in the streets or buildings are being decorated with lights, and the trees are being decorated, and it's very beautiful. They take out in the city center here, they put out the skating rink, ice skating rink, and it's really cool. And I'm kind of sad that I'm going to miss it again, because last year I was also home. But yeah, I think it's lovely.
That's nice to hear. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this webinar, and thank you everyone from home watching. Unfortunately, we passed our deadline now for the webinar. So if you have any questions again that you feel like you didn't get the answer to, let us know in the email behind us. And have a happy holiday, and thank you so much again.
You're welcome.
You.
Bye.
Bye-bye.